This video is going to cover some basics about the next Mystery Gnome Knitalong, that's the third, and then we'll talk a little bit about color choice. I'm Sarah Shearer from Imagine Landscapes Designs, and I am super excited to be talking about another Mystery Gnome Knitalong. I have 3 planned for this year, a wintry one, a summery one, and then a December one. So stay tuned for details. And if you want to sign up for my my newsletter, where I give all the details and often slightly better discounts, definitely sign up in the thing below so you don't miss out on those. I'm going to be looking at my notes a fair bit this time because I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. So pardon me for being slightly antisocial in the internet video sense, but I want to make sure I do right by you. So the next gnome pattern is going to be called Gnome is Where You Hang Your Hat, and I don't know how clear it is back here for you, but it's -25 without the wind and it's windy, and I am definitely wearing all my wooliest wintry knitting things, and definitely there is a hat to take off and hang up every time I come in the door. So that's sort of where this name came from this time. So let's talk about some basics. This gnome, like my other mystery gnomes, you don't get to know what it looks like, but the clues come to you in little bite-sized pieces, which is, I think, the whole fun of it. I've chopped them up into quite small workloads and given you ample time so that even people that feel like they're slower knitters or who have busy lives don't feel like they're getting behind. There will be 11 clues this time, with the first clue dropping on February 12th. So that's about a month you have to get ready and get excited. And I am really excited about this one. It seemed like it was time to do some stranded knitting. So don't panic, don't freak out. It's gonna be okay. First of all, no fear. It's just knitting. You can always rip back if you have a problem. It's not like carpentry where you measure twice, cut once, regret forever, right? We can rip back. But more than that, a gnome doesn't need to fit you. It doesn't need to, you don't need to worry about whether things are gonna be perfect. A little bit of imperfection is going to be just fine. It's good to have this as a learning piece. So please, no fear. Second thing is the bite-sized clues are really going to help you. It's not like you're going to open it up and there's going to be a whole sweater worth of color work. You're going to get little tiny chunks on a little tiny gnome. There's also going to be tutorials, and the community is packed with passionate and helpful people. These Knitalongs are super friendly, and the conversations we have on Ravelry and on Instagram are really awesome. So people will want to help you. So like I said, no fear about the stranded side. Those of you who are excited, woohoo, stranded work. I'm just really excited to see what comes of your color combinations. So I already said the first clue is coming the 11th of February, no, the 12th of February. The last clue will come out on March 3rd, and that will be the day that the finished object thread opens. On that day, you can start posting your finished gnomes. You will not have to post that day. Like I said, I really want this to be bite-sized and achievable, so you have until March 17th to turn in finished gnomes, and you can do more than one. If you knit more than one Nemo, that's the name for this gnome. If you knit more than one Nemo, you can enter more than one Nemo. And of course, you can name your gnome anything you want. Nemo's just the one I picked. When you buy this pattern, you will be getting a PDF right away from Ravelry that will detail all the dates, every clue, when it's coming, all the color work information that well, not color work information, but the color choice information I'm about to give you. It's going to give you, again, kind of written down, and it's got things like gauge and the notions you'll need and all that and more. So that'll be there right away when you go buy it. Links to the pattern are down below if you want to go there right now. Well, I mean, after the video, or maybe you pause the video and you go, whatever. Let's talk picking colors. You're going to need 3, maybe 4 yarns. So why is that? Well, each one of those is going to be about 20 grams, and I picked a very wintry white for one of mine, and since I like my gnomes to have sort of snowy beards, I also used what. So I had 3 colors, one of them was wintry white, and because of that, I didn't need a 4th color. If, however, when you look at your 3 colors, you think, I would really like to do something different for the hands and the nose, or the hands, nose, and beard, all of those together can be covered with 5 grams of yarn. So that's just sort of the thing about the possible 4th color, but let's talk about the 3 colors. So Colors 1 and 2 are we're going to spend most of our time talking today. Color 3 is the accent color. It's going to do some fun things, but it's not doing most of the work. So I'm going to talk mostly about what you need to think about for colors 1 and 2. Now with stranded color work, the most important thing is for there to be a light dark difference between your colors. It's not whether things contrast in terms of like a red yarn and a green yarn, you know, opposites on the color wheel. That's not really what this is about. This is about if we looked at it in black and white, could we tell a difference? You could do a really pale green and a really dark green, and the difference would still read visually. Why does this matter? It matters because our eye likes to have highs and lows for comparing. And when you have color work that's done where things are kind of like medium and medium, or light and light, or even medium and a little bit dark, whatever, where there isn't that big difference between the lights and the darks, it's almost like our eye can't process it as well. The color work doesn't pop, it doesn't sizzle. And since color work is some work, you might as well have your effort pay off. So here's what I suggest. I suggest that one of the two colors be a solid. It makes it so much easier, or like a semi-solid, but where there's very little variations in terms of lights and darks. Then I suggest the other one be maybe more colorful, more colored and different, but again, needs to have a contrast. So let's say we pick a light solid or semi-solid for color 1, then we could do any kinds of darks for color 2. If we picked a dark color 1, then our color 2 would be any kind of lights for colored 2. So what do I mean by any kind? So what I did, this is in my example, is I picked a solid or semi-solid for color 1, that's my wintry white. And for color 2, I actually picked a self-striping yarn. You could also do a variegated, you could do things with speckles, as long as all of the colors in color 2 will show up black and white against color 1. So if you have things where a lot of self-striping socks, for instance, they have light stripes, which makes sense. Like I said, your brain wants to have lights and darks, and so dyers work to put lights and darks over those self-striping yarns, so there's a difference. But those light stripes won't necessarily show up against the light yarn you pick, or if you have a dark yarn, will it show up against the dark, will the darkest stripes show up? So you really want to look at your lights and darks against your other main color. For color 3, the easiest thing to do is to pick one of the colors. So for me, color 2, I did self-striping, so I picked one of the stripes and did it as a solid. If you have a variegated, you could pick one of those colors and do it as color 3. Now that's if you're in the mood for harmony and that sort of everything combines really easy, and that's what I was in the mood for when I picked my yarn. I know you guys though will not all be in that mood, and you will want things that are wild and crazy, and so your color 3 really can be anything. I do suggest that it be a solid or semi-solid yarn, and that it contrast with one of the other two. To make things easier for you, I would say have a contrast with color 1, but there's lots of room for playing around with this, as you will discover. Okay, a couple of things about how to test your colors, because yeah, you can swatch, but most of us don't like being told to swatch. So what about some things you could do before you even swatch? Well, one of the things is to, like I said, use a black and white. So grab the filter on your cell phone, and don't pick the one that when you're going through and you're tapping those filters, it gives you the result you want. Pick Some of them are made to really juice up the darks and really juice up the lights, and you'll notice as you're kind of tapping across those filters, pick one that's a little more neutral. And if when you open the two yarns and you lay them side by side, and I do suggest if you have skeins, if you're in the shop or something like that, open them up, lay them side by side, and look at them through the filter. Even take a picture of it. I find that there's something about looking at something as a photo that gives me kind of an emotional distance, that all of a sudden I can see the problems or see that there are no problems. One of my very first design, for instance, I was sure I had picked good colors because one of my colors was a yellowy green. How could yellowy green not be a contrasting color with the other colors I'd chosen? It's yellowy green. My brain was telling my eye that this was a bright color. When I got them together and they came from the Dyer and I looked at them, I was like, oh no. These all read as medium grays. They don't have highs and lows. They don't have that sense of contrast that we need. So the black and white filter can help us because our brains label colors. We associate certain things with certain colors and we assume that those things are true. And they might be true in isolation, but when we're mixing colors, we have to kind of try to untrick our brains. So black and white filters, really big thing. If you're trying to shop online, you can even just take your cell phone and hold it over the photos. I will sometimes, when I'm designing, because I live really isolated, I often don't get to see the yarns before I order them. What I will do is I will take screenshots of things and I will organize them on a piece of paper or like on a doc on my computer. And then I will, I'll just black and white the whole doc, or I will hold my phone in front of the screen just as I'm working to see if I've got things right. So you can play with that, even if you're ordering online. The second thing I really suggest for you to do is to take a ruler or something like that and just wrap them around. So wrap a couple wraps of color 1, wrap a couple of color 2, one of color 1, one of color 2, and alternate, kind of like you would if you had color work where there'd be some sections that are thicker, some sections that are thinner of each color, and then sort of put that ruler where you can see it and ask yourself, how am I liking these? Do they work for me? Am I getting the contrast? Again, pull out that black and white filter. You are never going to regret being really sure going into a project that the colors are going to have the contrast that you think they're going to have when it's color work. One of the things I do with each of the Mystery Knitalongs is I partner with some dyers and yarn companies so that they have seen the finished gnome. And if you want to trust their color sense, you can just hand it over to the experts. The dyer that I used is a Canadian, and yes, Canadians, I did finally find a Canadian dyer who was up for it. So Dye for You, Ali from Winnipeg, she's actually nearly a neighbor, you know, in that Canadian prairie sense of I only have to drive 2.5 hours to see her, but she has provided some kits. She's done the yarn that I did. The kit that I used is being sold as When in Gnome, and it's white, like I said, that wintry white, dark, moody blues with sort of a plum striped, and I worked with Ali to make it narrow stripes because I figured if it's a narrow stripe, then over the course of color work on a gnome, it's going to change colors. And then we pulled one of the solids from that stripe. I pulled the plum out and used that for mine. Links to all these participating dyers will be down below, so definitely click through and check out their color sense. The other ones, so Dye for You is the one that I used, and definitely support Canadian if you can. There is a reason that we have to announce this knit-along so far in advance, and it's usually because Canadians, it takes so long for things to ship to us, even if it's just across the border between the customs and the whole thing. I give Canadians lots of time, but Canadians, you've got an in this time. You've got Ali at Dye for You. The other participating dyers, there's Das Mondschaf, who's back for the 3rd time. She's in Europe, and so she's a good choice for you European shoppers. Then we have Leading Man Fiber Arts, Dragon Horde Yarn, Arkansas Yarn Company, Marionated Yarns, and Kitty Pride Yarns. So there are seven yarn companies that have seen Nemo, who have a sense of what's coming at you and who have done their best to take their color vibe and turn it into 3 home run skeins for you. If you have questions, you can ask them here, but I will be faster and there will be more people to help you over in the Ravelry thread. So there will be a link to the pre-knit-along thread there. Eventually the pattern comes out once everything's released. I do take all of the clues and I condense it down into one tidy file, and I take out all the clues for you, but that comes sort of down the road. So at first there'll be the 11 clues and the amazing community, and it's a month of just outrageous fun. I can't wait to see what your Nemos and Nomies and Nathans and Natalias and whatever names you come up with. I can't wait to see how your colors and your color work turn out. In the meantime, happy knitting and happy gnoming.